Hello, listeners. Thanks again for listening to our Launch Buddies podcast. We just want everyone to know that what is said on our podcast is either read on script or off script, but we want everyone to know that it's the message that matters.
Yes, it's definitely the heartbeat behind what we do. We want self-determination and self-advocacy to shine through. So welcome to our podcast. Let's launch this episode. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Launch Buddies podcast. I'm your host, Barbara Beck, and I'm joined with Darien Watson, the incredible Darien Watson, and our new co-host, Andrew. Darien and Andrew, how are you two doing today?
Good morning, Barb. I'm doing fantastic, and I'm excited to be here once again.
Hi, Barb. I'm thrilled to join the podcast today and share my thoughts and dreams with our listeners.
We're so glad to have you, Andrew. And speaking of dreams, today's episode is all about embracing our aspirations and making a difference in the world. Andrew, you've written some incredible thoughts on your dreams. Can you share a little bit about what drives you?
Absolutely, Barb. Hi, everyone. Do you have something that you really want to happen in your life? Well, here are some of my dreams. I've always wanted to help the homeless and be involved in animal conservation. Although I may not have the education or experience right now, I plan on making a difference by contributing to organizations and volunteering at shelters when I can. The suffering in the world truly hurts my soul, and I want to do my part in making it better.
Andrew, your compassion and drive to make a positive difference and impact is truly inspiring. It's wonderful to see how you're channeling your passions into actionable goals. Can you tell us a little bit more about your dreams and your aspirations?
Absolutely, Barb. Alongside my desire to help others, I have dreams of traveling, experiencing different cultures, and exploring the world. I want to take care of exotic animals, study theology and philosophy, and connect with interesting people. One step at a time, I plan on pursuing these dreams and finding a fulfilling career that aligns with my interests. And of course, documenting my adventures through vlogging, even if it's just for myself right now.
Andrew, your dreams are incredible, and your determination to make them a reality is truly admirable. It's all about taking one step at a time and staying true to yourself.
Absolutely, Darien. Andrew, your journey reminds us that our dreams are personal and unique, and that, being realistic and patient and focused on your goals, you can really pave the way to a fulfilling future.
Thank you both. I appreciate the support. It's a pleasure to be here and share my aspirations with our listeners. Together, we can inspire others to pursue their dreams and make a positive impact in their lives.
That's so well said, Andrew. Your words resonate with our mission on the Launch Buddies podcast to celebrate self-advocates, embrace our dreams, and create a brighter future. So listeners, get ready to be inspired by the incredible stories and dreams of our Launch Buddies, including Andrew. And let's make today's episode unforgettable.
Stay tuned as we dive into an uplifting and inspiring conversation with our Launch Buddies. Let's launch into this incredible episode of the Launch Buddies podcast.
We have liftoff.
All right. Well, I know, Andrew, thank you for sharing a little bit in our opener about dreams. That's what we're talking today with all of you and creating videos. I know that our buddies are going to be arriving soon with their scripts that they've created already, all about what you envision your life to be like in the future and kind of how you want to make a difference. And Darien came in talking about his big dream is to be a motivational speaker in your life.
That's correct.
Tell about that for the listeners.
Becoming a motivational speaker is not just about attention gaze, just like drawing in attention. This is about reaching and reaching people in the ways that they need to be reached.
So when you think of the perfect person to reach in your motivational speeches or your content that you want to deliver as a motivational speaker, who would that person be? What would they be going through in life that you would want to inspire? Can you kind of give a persona? Like, what type of person would that be?
That's a great idea, Ms. Barb. And you know what? The type of people, for example, we could be aiming for is, people who deal with mental health, like anxiety
Yes.
or depression, autism, top topics like, homelessness going on. And then there's people who feel excluded from the community and then and so on. And then or feel or feel frightened and scared because of what's going on in the world right now. Or
Yeah, people struggle a lot. And I think one of the things that I always think about when I'm interacting with you, Darien, and really all of you, is that your words matter, right? When you write scripts and you talk to people about things that you want to encourage them in, right? Participating in your community or just becoming a motivational speaker, just like you, words have the power to lift people up or to bring them down. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I would definitely agree. And my goal is to bring them up.
Yes, I know that's true for you, Darien. And you just said yes as well, Andrew. What are your thoughts on that?
I just agree with that, because especially with the internet and stuff.
Tell me more about your thoughts around the internet and how it brings people down sometimes.
Just like the algorithms are designed to make people hate each other, basically.
Is that it really?
Yeah.
I mean, so I know social media can be a really positive thing. Like, we want to get our message out and encourage people, right? And we can do that through social media, but we can also do things to tear people down, to make ourselves better by, or we think we're trying to make ourselves better. But in the reality, what really is happening there?
We are just making ourselves look just as bad as the ones we're trying to surpass. And if we're trying to, look down, everybody's got something, right? So if we're trying to look down on somebody because they've got stuff and it's like, it doesn't fit in with the norm. And you look down though, I mean, think about how we look. If we look down at somebody who, it's like, oh, this person has that, this person has that. Well, we have stuff. So it's like, we look insecure. We look like we're trying to prove something by making somebody else look bad. And it's like,
right.
For what?
And that is really the opposite of what you want to do in your life.
The very
you want
opposite.
It is. And I know that when I see you interacting with people all the time, and it's not a put on. It's anytime Darien is interacting with somebody, you are a very positive person and you encourage people to be their best selves. And I love that about you. And so having that as your dream goal for your life in the future, you're well past school at this point, 7 years out of high school. Is that
2016? So I would say, let's see, about 7 years. Yes.
Yeah. So, you're still moving toward your goals and your dreams in life. And the thing is I know that in high school, you were on the media production crew. You did do announcements for your high school. And some of those skills and abilities and interests and ways that you like to connect with people, those started way back then. And they're continuing now. And we are trying to, encourage your skills and get you toward your dreams.
I appreciate that. And yes, it started from high school. It literally just hit me. It's like, this is what I'm after. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to change lives.
Right.
This is how I want to make the world a better place.
Yep.
So
what would you tell yourself if you could talk to yourself as a high school student? What would you say to encourage the dream that you have for yourself back then? And that it's going to be the same question for Andrew too. So I'd love for you to answer that. Think about who you were in high school and speak to that person.
So again, as I said before, it's definitely important to be yourself, and it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be scared. Just let all those emotions just filter their way out,
Right.
Express them. Don't hold stuff in.
Right.
And also seek support if needed.
That's a huge part of, I think, what we want to encourage people to do is there are people around to support you. There are teachers, there are paraeducators, there are parents. Parents are amazing. And tomorrow is Mother's Day. We're recording this the Saturday before Mother's Day. And each one of our launch buddies have incredible moms and parents and people in their lives who have encouraged their dreams and been their champions to cheer them on. So I want to do a little bit of a shout out to the mothers of each one of our launch buddies and, any mother out there who is working so hard to encourage their young adult, encourage their kids to become the best person they can become, given the skills that they uniquely have, right? So I want to say thanks to all the moms out there. I want to say thanks to my mom. She did that for me. It's incredible to see how that builds people up. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just the moms.
Just the moms.
Okay. We love
Thanks,
the moms.
moms.
Thanks, moms.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, moms.
All right.
You were great.
We'll take a pause. We have another buddy joining us in just a little bit.
Great.
Okay. All right. Well, we have another buddy who just joined us for the podcast. Sam just came into our studio, and I'm really excited that you're here, Sam.
Yep.
Thanks for coming. Are you excited today?
Yes.
What are you excited about?
That I'm here to see everyone.
Yeah, we get to see our friends.
We get to see our friends.
And we're also talking about our topic of the day is all about our dreams and moving toward those dreams that we have in the future and our aspirations, right? And Sam, one of the things that just happened in your life, I'm really, really wanting you to tell the listeners about what happened as far as a dream that you've had. What did you just accomplish?
I was working on my goals.
What was one of your goals?
I looked the interviewer in the eye.
You had a goal to get a job, right?
Yes.
So part of that process of getting a job is that you did a mock interview. You did
Yeah.
several, and you practiced.
Yes.
What were some of the skills that you practiced before you went to your...
Looking the interviewer in the eye,
And
asking all additional questions and staying on topic.
you did a really, really good job with that. It sounds like all of the practice that you did was fantastic. And one of the tools, you say this on one of your videos, I hope the listeners will check the show notes. We'll have a link to Sam's video where he talks about his clicker. And Sam, you had a clicker in your hand the other day.
Yes.
What did that help you with?
How to click if you're off topic.
Right. Every time you went off topic, you would have a chance to click and go, oh, yeah. That's a reminder to stay on topic,
Yes.
right? And it's kind of like you stop yourself. Oh, whoa, what is that? Stop yourself. Okay. And Sam, I love that you talked about the skills that you're developing in the mock interview for practice. And then you went to an actual interview at a bookstore
Yep.
that is really close to your house, right?
Yes.
And did they ask you some of the same questions that you practiced?
no.
They asked you different
Well,
ones?
they asked me different ones.
What kind of different
Why do you want
questions?
this job?
They asked, why do you want this job? What did you
Yep.
say?
That because I'm interested.
Interested in books and
Books.
what other things
And
do they
other
have
things.
there? What other things do they have
And
there?
that's it.
That's all. Okay. And so they told you after you did your mock interviews to practice, you went to your actual interviews, and then you got word back from them. What did they say?
Thank you.
They said, thank you. And then they told you,
Wonderful.
you are wonderful. And you also will start. Why?
Because so I can make money.
You're going to make money and you're starting your job when?
June.
In June. We're so excited for you.
Yep.
You're launching toward your dreams and you're launching into a new job. We hope that you have a great time with that.
Yep.
All right. Well, listeners, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Sam's going to go do what he loves to do. He likes to do some artwork. So, Sam, in 1 second, you're going to be able to go do that. And we're going to take a little bit of a break to thank our sponsors for letting us be here to have a studio in their space, their offices, SDES. Let's hear a little bit about them and how they are supporting our efforts here. All right. Let's take a break. Enjoying the Launch Buddies podcast? We're all about celebrating the voices of self-advocates who bravely break down barriers. Speaking of brave advocacy, let's take a moment to recognize our sponsor, SDES Functional Academics. SDES offers a comprehensive curriculum, training, and consultation for students with disabilities. Their Steyer-Fitzgerald program for functional academics has been refined with input from educators and families, achieving great success in classrooms nationwide. As Launch Buddies, we understand the challenges of finding the right education. With SDES by your side, you'll feel confident and empowered to provide an exceptional education for every child in your program. Visit sdesworks.com to learn more about the Steyer-Fitzgerald program for functional academics and make a real difference in your teaching. Thank you, SDES, for your commitment to inclusivity and accessibility. Now let's dive back into our conversation that's so captivating with our amazing Launch Buddies. All right, welcome back from our break. And I wanted our listeners to know we have another buddy who joined us. You just came in. Hi, Koa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. It is so good to see you. We haven't seen you for a few weeks, but you're back. Last week you were with the Best Buddies walk. There was a fundraiser for Best Buddies, and you were able to participate in that. And we will hear all about that because I know you brought a script today about your experience with Best Buddies, how amazing their organization is, and about your experience last week. So I'm excited to hear your words all about what your experience was all about, and the script, your created video. We'll have the video up for our listeners, and in the show notes, we will have Koa's video linked there. So make sure you check that out, listeners. And Koa, we are talking today about our dreams for our future. And one of the things that I know about you, you created a video that will also be linked in the show notes today, but you have a video about one of the dreams that you have for your life. Can you tell the listeners what that's all about?
So, certainly. I just have a dream of just driving. Like I was studying more like last year. Now I'm studying this year, and then I got done with both of my books, and then I'm ready to get scheduled.
That is amazing. You've been working really hard, and I know you're getting better and better at the skills that you're developing. And so that's a big dream that you have. And should we check in with Andrew and Darien about their process and some of their kind of steps that they took from high school all the way up till now, because you're learning to drive.
Yeah, I'm trying to I hope to bump up to like a 70 or something.
Of course, yeah. So Koa, Andrew is a little bit further along in his experience.
He
with
already
driving.
got his license.
He did. So let's find out about
Both
his
of
process.
them got their license.
Do you have any questions for them?
How did you did you both go to schooling though? Too?
I did, yeah.
Can you tell about that?
I didn't. I had a hard time on the written test, so I had help from this driving instructor who was really cool, and she helped me drive like the skill test too. So she was a cool person, but yeah.
Did you encounter any fear around driving that you kind of had to get over? And I don't know if that's something for Koa that maybe there could be some fear. I know some people are anxious about it, right? Did you experience that, Andrew?
Yeah, and I'm still a little nervous about getting into wrecks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So being really, really careful is important.
Yeah.
And do you have one tip or one piece of advice that you could give to Koa about his pursuit of his dream with driving?
Don't rush it, and just practice a lot.
Practice makes perfect.
When you have the time, yeah.
That's right. That does. I love that you said that, because it's very true. Keep practicing, and the more you practice, the better you get with all of those skills. Andrew, anything else that you would say to Koa?
No.
Okay. Well, Darien, so new driver or wanting to be a driver, Koa. Andrew, you're in that kind of mode. You are driving, but you have some support. You often drive with a family member, right?
Or I drive small distances.
Okay, and that's another thing that kind of helps you at this point. And then we have a little bit more of an advanced driver, Darien. Do you want to talk about your experience?
Yes, I do. I've got to say, so I started in January 2023 of this year, of course. It's great.
Started with your license or started?
Yes. So to be more specific, I started going to Accelerate Driving in Bothell, and I had a great instructor. He was great.
Nice.
He and I trained with him many times before I took the what do you call it? The practice test, and then taking the real test.
Okay.
And it was incredible, and learning how to be behind the wheel was like, wow, this is different. Like, this is amazing. And now looking back from now, it's just amazing how far I've come.
How long would you say that whole journey was from the time you started? You were in Koa's kind of position, right? How long was that between just starting to study for the test to now? What's What's the length of time in that?
I think since fall of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah. Fall of 2022 is when everything started. I remember like September and October.
Okay.
And then things branched out into November with training getting more advanced and learning a little bit more about kind of like, knowing about a car, what you're responsible for about, and how you go about on the road.
Right.
Safety and maintenance on your car is vital. Very vital.
Right. It's not just driving down the road.
Exactly.
It's being responsible enough to take care of the car itself, about, just kind of how you're responding to other drivers. And one of my friends always says driving is a team sport. You all kind of have to do different things and you have to kind of work together to make it work on the roads.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for adding in that information. I think it's really important. One of the things I heard you say, Darien, is that having people to support you, right? Whether it's a really great driving instructor or your parent, Koa, who's really encouraging you and walking with you along that process and that journey, that's so important to bring people around you to launch into that dream. So thank you guys for sharing that. And hey, we're going to wrap up here, and I want to see if anybody has anything else they want to say in the podcast for our listeners. Anything you want to say? I know, Koa, we were kind of doing shout outs to our moms. Do you want to do a little shout out to your mom?
I just wanted to say thank you for my mom just letting me do this process, because I've been waiting this for my whole life. 2018, awesome. I actually started doing it.
Yeah.
Then 3 years I took a break, and then 2022 I got back into it.
Right. I think the big thanks to all of our parents, our families, our teachers, anybody who is there to support us is just thank you. Thank you for taking the time to support our dreams.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you for listening to this week's episode, and we're excited for getting into our next topic next time. But for today, we're going to say goodbye, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Launch Buddies podcast. We hope you enjoyed hearing about our favorite things and personal preferences in various areas. Remember, it's important to embrace our individuality and celebrate what makes us unique. If you want to learn more about our Launch Buddies media class and access additional resources, be sure to visit www.mykeyplans.com.
That's right, Darien. You can find helpful lesson plans for teachers, books to create your own transition portfolios, social stories, and more on our website.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for video posts, behind-the-scenes content, and our Buddies Life updates. Join us again next week for another exciting conversation. Until then, keep chasing your dreams and living boldly. Thank you for listening.